Astronaut Handbook by Megan McCarthy. Welcome to astronaut school. Soon you will be boarding a space shuttle and blasting into outer space. All different kinds of people have become astronauts. There have been teachers, painters, and even deep-sea divers. You can be an astronaut too. First, you need to decide what kind of astronaut you will be. There are astronauts who fly the space shuttles, astronauts who conduct science experiments, such as growing plants, and astronauts who repair satellites. Becoming an astronaut takes a lot of preparation. It's important to study hard in school. Studying isn't always easy, but stick with it. You will have to pass some tough fitness tests to become an astronaut, so suit up and start swimming. One test is to swim in your flight suit and sneakers. It's also important to be a team player. While in space, you'll be eating, sleeping, and working in very tight quarters with many other people. So be nice to your neighbor and no fighting. Now that you can work well with others, it's time for survival training. This training will help toughen you up and prepare you to live in harsh conditions. After you're both mentally and physically prepared, it's time for the real work to begin. Practice makes perfect. Those of you who have decided to become engineers will practice working with machines much like the ones you'll use in space. Those of you who want to be a pilot of the space shuttle will need to learn how to fly. You've done the hard stuff, and now it's time to have some fun. A special plane nicknamed the Vomit Comet will take you high in the sky and then zoom back down. As a result, you'll be able to float. It might upset your stomach, but you'll get the hang of it. You'll also need to pick the foods you'd like to eat while in space. It's important to have a balanced diet to stay strong during your trip. You can even have dessert, such as freeze-dried ice cream. This is what a space toilet looks like. And here's what your spacesuit will look like. You'll wear this suit while working outside the space shuttle. It's white to reflect the rays of the sun. It will be fitted to your exact measurements. Over 100 measurements will be taken of your hand alone. Finally, it's time to blast off. Put on your orange flight suit, worn for takeoffs and landings, and get ready to board the space shuttle. You will have to sit for as long as 3 hours before liftoff. Get ready for the ride of your life. 3, 2, 1, blast off! It's best to like small spaces. Work hard and enjoy your time in space. The Big Dipper by Franklin M. Branley. I like to go outside at night. Everything is still and dark. At night, I can see the stars. Some nights the stars are very bright. They look close, too. It seems that I can almost touch them. I know I cannot. They are too far away. My father and I look at the stars. We look at them in summer and in winter. They are not always the same. In summer, these are some of the stars I see. In winter, I see these stars. But there are some stars that I can see both in summer and in winter. I can see the Big Dipper almost every night, if the sky is clear. Long ago, people drank water from dippers. The dipper in the sky looks like a water dipper. It has a bent handle and it has a bowl. There are 3 stars in the handle of the dipper, and there are 4 stars in the bowl. I use a compass to help me find the dipper. A compass points to the north. I hold a compass in my hand. Then I look in the direction that the compass needle points. I can see the Big Dipper in summer and in winter. On summer nights, the Big Dipper looks like this. On winter nights, it looks like this. On fall nights, the dipper looks like this. It is low in the sky. Sometimes it is so low, you may be able to see only part of it. These are the names of the 7 stars in the Big Dipper. The 2 stars at the end of the bowl are called the pointer stars. They point to Polaris, the North Star. When you look at the Big Dipper in the sky, imagine a dotted line going from one star at the end of the bowl to the other one. Imagine that the dotted line goes all the way to the North Star. The North Star is a very important star. Sailors and other travelers use it to help them find their way. When they sail toward it, they are going north. If they sail away from it, they are going south. To go west, sailors keep the North Star to the right of them. To go east, they keep the North Star to the left. There is also a Little Dipper. The North Star is the first star in the handle of the Little Dipper. The Little Dipper has 7 stars too. Whenever I see the Big Dipper, I can find the Little Dipper. When the sky is clear and dark, go outside and look for the dippers. Look to the north. There you will see the Big Dipper, the North Star, and the Little Dipper. Long ago, people imagined that the Big Dipper was part of a big bear. They called it Ursa Major. Ursa means bear, and Major means big. They imagined that the handle of the dipper was the tail of the bear. 3 pairs of stars were the paws of the bear. A bright star was his nose. Sometimes I think I can see the tail of the bear. I make believe that I can see its head, nose, and 4 feet. People of long ago thought that the Little Dipper was part of a little bear. Since minor means little, they called it Ursa Minor, little bear. I try hard to imagine that I can see the little bear, but I cannot. Maybe you can. Some nights, when it is still and dark, take a friend outside. Show him how to find the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, and the North Star. See if he can imagine that he sees the big bear. Maybe he'll even be able to see the little bear. Good Night, Galaxy by Adam Gamble and Mark Jasper. Good morning, planet Earth. Greetings, children. Are we ready to share a wonderful day? Good morning, Moon, orbiting our beautiful blue planet. Hello, hot sun. The sun is a star. It warms and brightens the Earth. Good day, solar system. Our solar system includes 8 planets that circle the sun: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Hold on tight! Things could get a little rocky in an asteroid belt. Good afternoon, Comet! Zooming through space. Comets are made mainly of ice, dust, and rocks. Have you ever wished upon a falling star? That flash is not really a star. It's a meteor, a piece of space matter that enters the sky at night. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Stars are balls of burning gases. The hottest stars are blue, while the coolest stars are red. Good evening, Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is a pattern of stars you can find in the sky. Greetings, Orion Nebula. A nebula is a nursery where stars are born. Good evening, Red Giant. When some stars begin to die, they grow bigger and turn bright red. Good evening, Amazing Pulsar. When other stars die, they shrink. Then they spin and flash like a lighthouse. Good night, Black Hole. Some stars become black holes. Anything that gets too close to a black hole will be sucked into it, even a beam of light. Good night, Milky Way. Our solar system is part of the Milky Way galaxy, which is made up of hundreds of billions of stars. Good night, galaxies. There are hundreds of billions of different galaxies. Many have interesting names and shapes. Pinwheel Galaxy, Whirlpool Galaxy, Tadpole Galaxy, Sunflower Galaxy, and Sombrero Galaxy. Good night, children of planet Earth. Good night, starry sky. Thank you for sharing a wonderful day.
Hello, Dream My friends! Welcome to Storytime. Do you know why a ball falls to the ground when you drop it? Or what pulls everything from rocks to rockets towards the center of the earth? That's right, gravity. Do you think we can live without gravity? No. If we want to live on this earth, we need gravity. Let's learn more about gravity by reading the book Gravity by Jason Chin.
Gravity makes objects fall to earth. Without gravity, everything would float away. The moon would drift away from the earth. The earth would drift away from the sun. Luckily, everything has gravity. Massive things have a lot of gravity. And their gravity pulls on smaller things. Gravity keeps the earth near the sun, the moon near the earth, and makes objects fall to earth.
Hello, friends! It's Miss Sandra. Welcome to Storytime. When you look up in the night sky, what do you see? That's right, stars. Can you reach the stars? How about touch them or even catch them? Well, today's book is called How to Catch a Star by Oliver Jeffers. Let's see if we can catch a star. Once there was a boy, and the boy loved stars very much. Every night, the boy watched the stars from his window and wished he had one of his very own. He dreamed of how this star would be his friend. They would play hide and go seek and take long walks together. The boy decided he would try to catch one. He thought that getting up early in the morning would be best, because then the star would be tired from being up in the sky all night long. The next day, he set out at sunrise, but he could not see a star anywhere. So he sat down and waited for one to appear. He waited and he waited. And ate lunch and waited. And after dinner, he waited some more. Finally, just before the sun was about to go away, he saw a star. The boy tried to jump up and grab it, but he could not jump high enough. So very carefully, he climbed to the top of the tallest tree he could find. But the star was still way out of reach. He thought he might lasso the star with a life preserver from his father's boat. But it was much too heavy for him to carry. If only he could fly up in a spaceship. If only he could fly up in a spaceship and just grab the star. But the only spaceship he owned was made of paper, and it didn't fly well at all. Perhaps he could get a seagull to help him fly up into the sky to reach a star. But the only seagull he could find didn't want to help. The boy worried he would never catch a star. Just then, he noticed something floating in the water. It was the prettiest star he had ever seen. Just a baby star. It must have fallen from the sky. He tried to fish it out with his hands. But when the boy reached out to touch the star, it just rippled through his fingers. Now the boy was sad, but in his heart, the wish just wouldn't give up. Slowly, he began walking home. And that's when he saw it, washed up on the bright golden sand. The boy had caught a star of his very own. Me in My Place in Space by Joan Sweeney. This is me on my place in space, the planet Earth.
Tonight, I can see the moon from my place in space. The moon is a ball of rock that travels in a path around the Earth, just like the Earth travels in a path around the sun. The sun is really a fiery star, as big as 1,000,000 Earths. So bright and hot, it lights and heats. Our whole solar system, 9 different planets, including Earth, that travel around and around the sun. On Mercury, the planet closest to the sun, days are burning hot and nights are icy cold. The sun comes up in the west on Venus. Its gleaming cloud cover makes it the brightest planet of them all. My place in space, beautiful Earth, is the 3rd planet closest to the sun, and the only one in our solar system where living things grow. Long ago, there may have been life on Mars, but now Mars is rusty, dusty, and cold. Jupiter is a massive ball of gas, bigger than all the other planets combined. Saturn's wide rings are made of ice particles, some big as houses. On Uranus, it never gets warm, even though the sun shines 42 years in a row. Neptune looks like a big blue twin of Uranus. Its great dark spot is a giant cyclone, where winds blow at 700 miles an hour. And Pluto is an ice ball so far away, the sun is like a dot in the distance. But as big as our solar system is, it is only one tiny part of the Milky Way, an immense galaxy made up of hundreds of billions of stars, some with solar systems of their own. And the Milky Way is only one of the many, many galaxies in the universe. So many you might run out of numbers to count them. And the universe is so gigantic, you could travel for trillions of years and never get to the other side. Sometimes I wonder, way out in space, is there another galaxy like mine? Another solar system like mine? Another sun like mine? Another planet like Earth? With another someone like me? Could be. Oh No, Astro! By Matt Roser. Everyone knows that asteroids are a rather rambunctious group. Crash, bash, smash. Well, most asteroids. All Astro wanted was for his personal outer space to be respected, as it had been for millions of years. "Greetings, celestial wanderer," said Astro to an approaching satellite. "Please keep your distance. You stay in your orbit, and I'll stay in mine. It's one of the core rules of the cosmos, you know. And yet you've come closer." "Good gravity! You've struck me!" Astro was understandably distraught. But before he could point out to the satellite that it had done considerable damage to one of his favorite craters, he began to spin. "Pluto's revenge! That rotating rogue seems to have knocked me off orbit. This is humiliating." Astro found himself in unknown territory. When an asteroid leaves its orbit, it hurtles through space on an unpredictable path, reaching unstoppable speeds. Why, I'd never! But he did. Hi, Mars! Bye, Mars! Meanwhile, an Earth girl named Nova was enjoying a quiet night of stargazing when something caught her eye. Pardon me! As Astro zoomed past the moon, he realized with a sudden clarity where and how his journey would end. I don't like confrontation! Astro began to break apart as he entered Earth's atmosphere. It tickles! Smash! Astro opened one eye, then the other. He was certainly smaller, but still in one piece. My stars! He muttered. Dare I say that was fun? What on earth shall we do next?
Our Stars by Anne Rockwell. When night comes, I can see billions of stars twinkling in the dark sky. The sun that shines in the daytime and keeps us warm is really a star. A star is made of fiery gas. It gives off brilliant light. Some stars are so far away that their fire has burned out by the time the brightness reaches us. Long ago, people imagined pictures in groups of stars and gave them names. These are called constellations. Constellations can tell us many things. When we see Orion, the hunter in the sky, we know it is the season to harvest what we planted. All year long, the Big Dipper points toward a star named Polaris. Polaris is also called the North Star. We always see Polaris in the northern sky. If you know which way north is, you can always find your way in the darkness. Sometimes before the stars come out, we can see a bright light dangling low on the horizon. It looks like a star, but it isn't. It is the planet Venus. Stars twinkle, but planets glow with steady light. When something in space goes around something else, it is in orbit. Planets orbit around stars. Planets get their light from the star that shines on them. Earth, where we live, is a planet. Earth orbits around the sun. The sun and its planets make up our solar system. Moons orbit around planets. Some planets have many moons. Earth has just one. Our moon seems to change its shape each night, but it doesn't. It is always round. We just can't see all of it. At the outer edge of our solar system, there are big chunks of ice. We can't see them until they orbit close to the sun. Then the ice starts to melt and forms a long, bright tail. This chunk of ice with a shining tail is a comet. Streaks of light that look like faraway fireworks are meteors. We call them shooting stars. When meteors zoom close to Earth, they usually burn up in the air. Sometimes one falls and makes a crater in the ground. Stars, planets, comets, and meteors are all part of the universe.
People have always wanted to know about our universe. That's why we study stars through giant telescopes. That's why we send satellites into space. But the universe is much greater than we can measure. Astronauts have gone to the moon, but no one has ever gone to any star. I think our universe will always be a mystery. We'll go on looking at our beautiful stars each night, looking and wondering. Roaring Rockets by Tony Mitton and Ant Parker. Wow! Rockets have power. They rise and roar. This rocket's waiting, ready to soar. Rockets carry astronauts with cool white suits, oxygen helmets, and moon boots. Whoosh! The countdown is finishing. 3, 2, 1. Action! Blast off! The journey's begun. Rockets have fuel in great big tanks. When they are empty, they drop away. Thanks. Up in space, you're really light. So astronauts need to buckle up tight. Down comes the lander with legs out ready, and fiery boosters to hold it steady. Rockets go far, through space they zoom, reaching as far as the big round moon. Out come the astronauts to plant their flag and scoop up samples in their moon rock bag. Rockets explore, through space they roam, but when they're done, they head back home. Rockets re-enter in a fiery flash, to land in the sea with a sizzling splash. The helicopter carries the brave crew away. 3 cheers for the astronauts! Hip hip hooray!